from Memphis, weighing 222 pounds, Eddie Gilbert. The champions in the red corner, from Hollywood, weighing 245 pounds, Jerry Brown. And his partner from Wichita, Kansas, weighing 250 pounds, Ron McFarland. One fall to a finish.
Well, wrestling fans, this is the match we've been telling you about. This match is for the Tri-State Championship, the Tag Team Championship. You got a pair of Tennesseans in Eddie Gilbert and, of course, Ricky Morton going against Jerry Brown and Ron McFarland for the title. And here to add expert commentary is another champion. Bruiser Bob Sweetan is with us. And Bruiser, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Thank you, Jim Ross. It's a pleasure to be here. One of the reasons I wanted to be out here, I want to watch this good young team of Morton and Gilbert. Now, when you talk about young people, I'm not talking about age-wise. I'm talking about years in the sport of professional wrestling. He's sharp. He'll lull you to sleep and all of a sudden explode on you and tear you up and beat you right on the spot. He's a very good wrestler.
Hip-lock takedown by Ricky Morton and tagging in and out. These young men from Tennessee appear to have a great deal of teamwork going for them, Bob.
Well, they're really going because these two guys are young. They cut, like I said before, they cut the determination. They want to get ahead in this sport, and the only way to get ahead is to be winners, and they're going to pool their resources, and they're going to give these tag team champions a rough go. They're going to be in for a little bit of trouble, McFarland and Brown are.
Kick to the solar plexus.
Yeah, you give Brown half a break, and he's right on top of you, boy. Talk about teamwork now. Brown and McFarland, now they're a pretty dang good team together, too. To be champions as long as they have been. They're crafty veterans, both of them.
And McFarland really working on Ricky Morton with those right hands. And that's got to take a toll on this youngster.
Very kind. Like I said, this kid's got unbelievable determination and desire. He's been my partner on a few occasions, and I've never been more pleased with anybody than him. Look at that. Now McFarland got a good shot in the jaw there from that forearm. That's going to take a little of the steam out of him. Gilbert's got things going his way. If he don't make a mistake, he's going to be all right here. And look at that hole. They stay on that arm. They're going to wear that arm down and wear the rest of the body down. Look at his teamwork. Look at that.
Double drop kick, and I'll tell you what.
They lack in size, they make up with desire and determination and speed, these two young guys.
They certainly do. And our packed house here at our television sports studio really voicing their approval of this great young tag team. Ricky Morton from Nashville and Eddie Gilbert from Memphis.
We're going to give these two guys a rough go. These champions are not going to be in a fight. You can look at Brown there. You can tell he's a little bit worried. These two guys a little bit more than he anticipated. They figured with Gilbert and Morton, two young professional wrestlers in there, they can just run over him. But they're not going to run over these two guys. I can guarantee you that. Look at this. Look at him move. Look at him go. Look at that speed, determination, boy.
Welcome to the 8th episode of Wrestling 80. I'm your host, Sabu Steve Dogosh. Here we go. Unfortunately, this week we lost two wrestling legends. And right now, as I show you the beginning of this program, I'm going to show you a couple matches from Jerry Brown, who was one half of the Hollywood Blondes, with Nature Boy Buddy I always say that, with Buddy Roberts of the Fabulous Freebirds. Unfortunately, he passed away this week. This show is kind of late because when I woke up this yesterday morning to find out that Road Warrior Animal died, and that was really, really hard for me to do the podcast yesterday because of it, because Road Warriors, again, were one of my favorite tag teams growing up. And they were so important to me being a wrestling fan in my young days. Also, since this is a timeline podcast and the Road Warriors not going to really show up until 1983 in Georgia, I guess I could throw a Road Warrior match in from Japan on this program somewhere. But again, it doesn't really fit the timeline, so I try not to do that as much as possible. But in the case of tributes and the triple main event, I try to be more relaxed in the rules of the timeline. All right, well, let's go ahead and start with some of these results here. For this week, we're going to start with February 22nd, 1980 in Sarasota, Florida. Florida champion Manny Fernandez defeated Bad Leroy Brown. Jack and Jerry Briscoe went up against Bugsy McGraw and Super Destroyer. And that's Super Destroyer Scott Irwin underneath the mask. And Bubba Douglas faced off with Gordon Nelson. On the 22nd of February in Houston, Texas, Bruno Sammartino faced off with and beat superstar Billy Graham. Richmond, Virginia on February 22nd, 1980 for the Mid-Atlantic promotion. We have Ray the Crippler Stevens, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and Greg the Hammer Valentine defeating Ric Flair, Rick Steamboat, and Jay Youngblood. Women's champion Fabulous Moolah defeated Vivian St. John. Dewey Robinson defeated S.D. Jones. Matt Bourne and Johnny Weaver, the Future Mr. Wrestling 2, took on and beat Doug Summers and the Scorpion. Bob Marcus over David Patterson. Billy Starr over Ronnie Sexton. St. Louis, Missouri, February 22nd, 1980. NWA Heavyweight Champion Harley Race was in town to defeat Kevin Von Erich. David Von Erich defeated Lord Alfred Hayes. King Kong Brody defeated Art Thomas. Jack Briscoe over Bob Brown. Pak Song and Takachiko beat Tom Andrews and Pat O'Connor. Ed Wiskowski, better known as Colonel De Beers, defeated Tommy Sharp. And Kerry Brown teamed up with Eddie Gilbert to defeat Bill Howard and Ron McFarland. And a few of those guys from McFarland's in this match right here. Alright, Calgary, Alberta, February 22nd, 1980 for Stampede territory. His North American champion Leo Burke defeated Bobby Bass by disqualification. Handicap match, Loch Ness Monster defeated Tsumi Oshiro and Joe Ventura. Steve Wright, the father of Alex Wright, defeated Cuban Assassin. Lynn Denton, the Spoiler, defeated Hubert Galliant. Bret Hart defeated Goldie Rogers. And Jim the Anvil Neidhart defeated Bobby Fulton, the Future Fantastic. February 22nd, 1980, Manville, New Jersey for the World Wrestling Federation card. Davey O'Hannon defeated Mike Masters. Johnny Rodz defeated Angelo Gomez. Larry Zbyszko over Bulldog Brower. Hulk Hogan defeated Dominic DeNucci. Afa and Sika defeated WWF Tag Team Champions Ivan Putski and Tito Santana by countout. Also for that day for the WWF, Glen Falls, New York. Jim Duggan defeated Hussein Arab by disqualification. Bobby Duncombe over Rene Goulet. Ivan Putski defeated Ken Patera. Cowboy Lang and Lone Eagle defeated Dirty Morgan and Little Tokyo. Rene Goulet defeated Jose Estrada. Onward to February 23rd, 1980 in Kagoshima, Japan for All Japan promotion. Dick Murdoch won the All Japan United National title from Jumbo Tsuruta. 23rd of February 1980 in Dayland, Florida. Florida Tag Team Champions Stanley Lane and Brian St. John took on Manny Fernandez and Mike Graham. Bad Leroy Brown against Jack Briscoe. Jerry Briscoe and Don Diamond teamed up to face Bugsy McGraw and Super Destroyer. And Barry Windham against Jeff Ports. San Juan, Puerto Rico, World Wrestling Council on February 23rd, 1980. Carlos Colon defeated Abdullah the Butcher by disqualification. Mr. Fuji defeated Jose Rivera. The Invader 1 defeated Moose Morawski. Eric Frolich defeated Hugo Savanovich. El Gran Apollo and Invader 2 defeated Roger Kirby and Dickie Steinborn. Memphis Television. We have 220 on 223. We have Southern Tag Team Champions Paul Ellering and Ali Hassan. Ken Lucas and Jimmy Valiant defeated David Oswald and Dennis Upston. Rick Morton over Buddy Wayne in 411, and Bill Dundee, Rick and Robert Gibson beat Dennis Condrey, Sonny King, and David Schultz. And I'll definitely be showing some Memphis footage during this broadcast. February 23rd, 1980, Atlanta, Georgia. Tommy Rich won the Georgia television title from Baron von Raschke, who was defending the title for Austin Idol. Cannon Falls, Minnesota for the AWA on February 23rd. Adrian Adonis and Jesse Ventura was scheduled as the main event to face Crusher and Steve Olsonowski. On the 23rd of February in Calgary for the Stampede promotion, North American champion Leo Burke defended his title against Bobby Bass. Handicap match, Loch Ness Monster against Bobby Fulton and Goldie Rogers. Len Denton against Hubert Galliant. Joe Ventura against Steve Wright. Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart team up for one of the very first times to take on Danny Fargo, which is also Dane Greer, and Tatsumi Oshiro. And Eric Embry faced off against Cuban Assassin. Alright, well, let's go ahead and see what happens at the end of this match, and I will be back later in the show to read more results.
Champions right here on Championship. Morton Gilbert, the new tag team champions. What an upset. This is fantastic. We've got new champions here on Championship Wrestling. Our packed house is going crazy here. Fantastic. Fantastic. The people are standing up and applauding.
About to introduce this event, and Gino Hernandez came into the ring, and he is arguing right now with Tony Atlas. And
everybody here last week saw how you threw me over the top rope, and you should have been disqualified, but you're not man enough. All you, Tony Atlas, all them muscles, but you're not a man. You are not a man, you're a boy. You are a boy. You're no man. You are a boy. You're no man. Let me tell you something. Gino, you let me tell you something right now. And don't you ever forget this. My mama did not raise no boy. She raised a 6'2", 250 pounds. Rick House suffering whooped your boy self to death.
so Boyd Mears gets the microphone, and the argument now, well, Gino couldn't resist the opportunity, and he will not win friends and influence people in this. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. And here is Gino catching Bobby down. Watch out for that press. He's got him up and in. Caught him with a beauty, and Gino could be sorry he ever came into the ring. Well, that fellow is Jerry Brown, who has moved in there to take over on Tony Atlas. Jerry's a 230-pounder from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he took advantage of the fact that the back was turned to go to work on Tony Atlas. So this match has started in wild and unorthodox fashion, and the jumble that began when Mark Lewin refused to come into the ring for the opening match has given us a pair of preliminaries of which we can only say that they are exclusive. Tony Atlas shaking off the effects of that crash in there. This is a one-fall 15-minute match, and Atlas is wound up. Jerry Brown being whipped across the ring. Hard landing as Atlas now shakes off the effects of the sudden attack by Gino and the sudden attack by Jerry Brown. Referee is Irish Danny McShane. And again, Jerry Brown keeps him at bay by ramming away at his face. Even the threat is enough to make a man back away. Atlas this time introducing Jerry Brown to the top rope and managing to rub his head along there. And as fans are screaming, be sure you get his eye. That's what Jerry Brown did. One more is the call. Look at that, hollering, one more, one more. They're telling him again, one more. Oh, he clobbered him. On top, Atlas. Hard man to hold down, that boy Brown. Here's a spinning slam, and he slammed him solidly. On top is Atlas, and he aimed in there to drive that head in. 10 minutes have gone by. 5 minutes remain of this match as Jerry Brown clobbers him and tries to straighten him out. Again, he goes after the face. Again, he goes after the nose and the eye, and Atlas is in a tough spot. So Jerry has the side headlock, and nice work. He's working him like a bull in a bullfighter. So Brown is outside, Brown is inside, and he bounced right on his nether end. Crotch hold, and Tony Atlas. Now, he did it. I'll be doggone. You know, there it is. It's a win for Tony Atlas. It's one thing to be able to lift that much weight over your head. It's another thing to be battling for 2 or 3 minutes with Gino Hernandez, 10 or 12 minutes with this man, and then go out there and right in the course of the match, lift him over your head.
There he is, folks. Kazavubu, the idiom in professional wrestling. He's from the same country, Uganda. Has resided in the United States for the last few years, but refuses to speak English. But based on the size of him, George, I'll bet you he speaks English in a restaurant.
Well, I told him, I said, you know what you're from? And he said, what? I said, what's in Nigeria? But didn't make it to Ethiopia.
And did he understand it?
No.
He's hungry again, George. George, the guy probably has a tremendous bank account. I'll bet you he spends no money on food. He keeps eating up with his opponent.
Well, when he seen earlier, he thought he was smorgasbord. So all you can eat for a buck a night.
Off a big table. Oh, George, the man is despicable. George, how do you think you'd fare in there against Kazavubu today? I remember a couple of years ago, you got in the ring, 8 minutes remaining in the match. Kazavubu choking on the go to that top rope. Whipping all the guns. Oh, a big Ugandan knee to the soft inner belly as John Orlick is down on the canvas. Kazavubu reaches down, grabs his hair. George, again this week, his manager and handler, Dr. Jerry Graham Jr., is not here. He's still out looking for suits from dead procurers.
His absence. Where is he?
Who cares?
Lurking under the ring, maybe?
No, I told you, he's hanging around the morgue in downtown Detroit. We're going to lift an out-of-date suit off a dead procurer.
Well, that's what he had his suit checked. He said, no, straight.
7 minutes remaining in this match. This, I guess, George, will be billed as a super heavyweight match. Both wrestlers weighing in at over 300 pounds. There he goes. There he goes. Up in the air with that flying elbow smash.
smash. That's a lot of weight coming down on Orlick. Count of 2, and Casavubu lifts Orlick's head, decides he wants to punish him a little more. Here we go. Billy Black, 2 feathers to be on the show. Hans Mueller, Don Kent, Harley Hassan. Oh, that big elbow smash. George, you gotta feel sorry. 2, 3, there it is. Ring the bell. The winner of the final match. Casavubu. But let's hear the officials.
Take it easy there. Take it easy now. Just go back to your... Oh, he's going to eat your pin.
Drag the animals right up there. Like animals? We shoot dogs in my country! Get him up, Alan!
You have the audacity to talk about these people as animals? You and Bulldog can't...
We're not barking, they are! They're the ones here to use animals!
Most
They
violent...
should be locked up! They should be up there!
Disreputable people like you two people call them animals.
We are the two most...
Introducing first of all, at 250 pounds, the medic number 1. His opponent, at 236 pounds, Mr. Wrestling number 2. All right, the medic going up against Mr. Wrestling number 2. Referee calls for the bell, and it has sounded. Collar and elbow tied up here. And the medic, arm drag takedown by Wrestling 2. Again, straight arm drag takedown, and now number 2 bars the arm of the medic. The medic was trying to get set up for Fireman Carey, but it did not work. Side headlock by the medic. And the medic hurtled into those ring ropes, shoulder smash Wrestling 2 down. That time Wrestling 2 was set ready. And man, he was about to give the medic that knee lift. The medic knew it, and he got out of there real quick. He wanted no part of that. Beautiful move by Wrestling number 2. All right, the medic once again wasted no time in getting out of there. And the medic shaking his finger back into the ring like, no sir, I'm not going to allow that to happen to me. But he's back in there now, Wrestling 2 waiting for him. All right, connection of forearm there by the medic, and another. Wrestling 2 backed up against the turnbuckle, in trouble now. A good reversal by Wrestling 2, sending the medic into the turnbuckle. Connecting away now with... All right, the medic sent into the opposite turnbuckle. Wrestling 2 caught him. There's that knee lift. There's that knee lift. 2 sending him into the turnbuckle again.
The medic very much in trouble now. Into the ropes he goes, wrestling two, back drops in. There's the knee lift again, a short knee lift. Uh-oh. That was not a short one, man. That was a devastating knee lift. And Mr. Wrestling number 2 has won this match.
応援団が駆けつけておりまして、ご覧のように花束が胴体からおっと突っかけたグイーン4番の3人袋の大が切れましたアシュラ原9番型陣に向かいました。そしてチョップ首投げ蹴りつけます挑発を無視して花束胴体を受けていた原、その花束をアサシンが一つもみくちゃにしました。この怒りが爆発した感じ、9番アサシンが紹介されましたがブーイングブーイング、そしてアシュラ原182.130注目のアシュラ原が相手の巨大1点かけました。飛び込みました注目、それをうまく改めましてアシュラ原が3発4発フライング、そしてラグビータックルが出ました。その水野のシングル実現には何としてもグラウンドでのサイドヘッドロックが決まっております。アシュラ原ローリングして原の肩口をスピンさせようという9番アサシン、しかし非常にバランスのいい動きでこれをディフェンスいたしましたアシュラ原、ディフェンスとしてサイドヘッドロック。おそらくこれは9番先、ちょっと体勢が低かったが、門馬さん、バックトンプを狙った感じでしたね。
このアサシンの場合はですね、ロープには、それからコーナーには、それから返し技、そういった逆転がありますからね、原選手が自分なりのペースと思って攻めてもですね、返されますからね、そこら辺ですね、一番怖いのは。
今度は横からのベアハック、サバウリ気味に締め上げます。9番アサシン、昨年の7月日本を出発いたしました原本カナダのカルガリー、そして東部のブランズウィックを転戦いたしました。6月にはオッツカウント1、ヨーロッパの西ドイツで行われましたハノーバー国際トーナメントに出場いたしまして見事4位入賞、原すぐがホールの体勢に乗っています。
ああいうボディスラムがいいですね。
そうですね、
大きな反応をつけてね。
ようやく攻撃のきっかけをつかみました9番アサシン、強引にアシュラ原の髪の毛を取りまして、そして大きくホイップいたしました。セカンドロープの上からアシュラ原の体がリング下に転落いたしました。9番アサシンとリング下を降りた、エプロンのところから大きく3分、そしてハウスの障害団長をかっこいました。大きく本部的の机に叩きつけまして9番アサシン空港とリング内に戻りました。
このアサシンですがね、随分荒っぽくなりましたね。
なりました、かつてはいわゆるキューバの暗殺団ということでコンビを組んでやりましたが、そのいわゆる暗殺団タッグチームは昨年すでに解散したそうであります。9番アサシン、このアサシンをまたレッグロック、アシュラ原が足を封じての攻撃を見せます。あるいはこのパイオニアシリーズ中スミルノフとのシングルマッチが実現かという大きな話題を呼び起こしましたアシュラ原、そしてその後の原進にまつわる話題を拾ってみますと、3月にはヨーロッパの WW ジュニアヘビー級チャンピオンのミル・ツルノとのタイトルマッチが予定されております。大きく持ち上げた、叩きつけましたアシュラ原、この辺りは実にスケールの大きい豪快な攻め方を見せております。凱旋帰国第終電記念体育館の神宮上のアシュラ原、
今の攻めですがね、先ほどのボディスラムとああいった力技ね、原選手らしいものをこれから一つ作っていけばね、これかなりの大型レスラーになってきますね。
その原を ロープに飛ばした。帰ってくるとカウンターのキッチンシンクが出ました。ニーバット。後陣の攻撃。ちょっと動きが止まりましたが、ホッスム。裏板を切りつけます。アキシ。リングサイド、セコンドについております。先ほど、